So we're live. Okay. So here we are. We're at the Los Angeles Comic Book Sci-Fi Convention, and this is very special. We took a break from we sent everybody away. As you can see, we said no more autographs. We're overwhelmed. We're swamped. And I just thought this would be really special because, of course, a lot of you guys are huge Disney parks and huge animation fans and Disney animation fans. And lovely Eva, who's my new best homie. We're going to dinner afterward, along with her awesome mom, Julie, and Derek, who's amazing, who made all the magic happen today. But this is really special because you guys are always asking questions about what is it like to do voiceover, how did you get started, and Eva has some amazing origin stories of how she got into voiceover, and of course I do too. So we're just going to chat for a few minutes, or for as long as you guys are sending those hearts and looking excited, which I know you are right about now. And so your mom was telling me that the way that you start, and I'm just going to show this. Ooh, this is. You can go ahead and pan over here and see. This is her lovely. She's got a doll.
A little pop?
A cute little pop doll that apparently is a limited edition, sold out, can't ever buy again except for here. It's retired. Okay. The creepy bride doll, which you guys were all sending me pictures of, apparently was out for a minute and then it got retired too. Why do they do that? Just make it more special. Collectability.
Vocabulary,
collectability. All right. So this is, of course, lovely young Elsa from Frozen. She's also incredible as Shimmer.
Thank you.
And we have this. So this is like 2 degrees of separation because, of course, I sometimes do step in and do some voicing for Shimmer and Shine as well for the video games. So tell us your amazing origin story of how you got started. Here, lean into my booth, which is the microphone. Tell us the origin story of how you got into Disney animation.
Okay.
Frozen.
Well, I originally started out doing the scratch work for young Elsa, and that's when I want to get like a rough draft, almost for like what they want the voice to sound like and how someone speaking sounds with the lines and how it just kind of flows together. So I started out doing that, and then. And
what you were saying, or what your mom was saying, was that Jennifer actually was still kind of freelancing, making a living doing freelancing writing, and then John Lasseter one day said, hey, how about co-directing?
She was working on another Disney project, and then she had the opportunity to meet with him, and then he called her in, and she had the opportunity to do some rewrites and co-direct Frozen.
So what Julie just said was that Jennifer was working on a couple of other projects for Disney, and then John just said, hey, wouldn't this be a great idea? And I know for a fact, this is funny actually, I scratched out a long time ago, they were going to do the Ice Queen, and Sandra Bullock was supposed to be the lead, so I was scratching Sandra Bullock's lines for that version, like 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So keep going with your amazing story.
And then eventually after a while, they were just like, we love your voice, I think you sound great with young Elsa, and so then I got it and filmed it or recorded it, and then a couple months, or I went in for around 3 to 5 sessions, and then 8 months later, a year later, it came out. And
okay, so 3 to 5 sessions, and of course you're really just in the beginning, the first 20 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes. So on average, if you do a Disney animated feature, you can expect to go in, for the lead roles, you're probably going to go in about 10 to 20 times usually.
She did have one great experience during the recording session. You should tell them about
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the first time I had my session there, we came in like 15, 20 minutes early, and they're like, oh, come in. And you walk in, there's like, normally in a booth there's like 3 to 4 people. There's like 15, 20 people in Disney.
Writers,
the whole
producers,
team's there.
Yeah. Animators.
And so I was like already overwhelmed. And then I look in and I see Josh Gad, and it's a scene where Olaf meets Anna and Kristoff. The whole part where Olaf's like improving, and then it's like with the ice and don't eat the yellow snow, the whole thing. He improvised all of that. Like he went on the lines, and then he just went like totally off, and then everyone was laughing. It was the funniest thing. And like I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Olaf, because everyone's talking about him, really, and I make him at the beginning, so and then I talked to him for a little bit after, and he's super nice. So that was
Yeah,
a
he's
good
a
way.
great guy.
That was a good way to start.
That is a great way to start. And you were probably in the same booth, because they pretty much had the same main booth in the hat building. Yeah, in the basement.
And then I did my ADR in the soundstage where they originally recorded Cinderella.
Stage
that
B.
one Yep.
Doc Kane.
Yep.
Probably
And
the
then-
Doc Kane, legendary Doc Kane.
And then that's where I did The Wind Rises and Despicable Me from some little extra stuff. But that's where I did my Frozen ADR. It was
Oh
really
my God,
special.
that's so great. An ADR, for those of you who don't know, is when you go in usually after the fact, after the movie has already posted, and they just need to make sure that the dialogue is clean or that they replace dialogue. Some of you know that I did all the ADR for the female mother gorilla in Kala in Tarzan. So
That's awesome.
it was good. But that was a weird experience because they already finished the movie.
Yeah.
They completely animated it, all the sound, everything, and now I was just going back in after.
ADR is fun. I love it.
ADR is a blast, yeah. So, do you have any tips for people who are youngsters who are looking to get into voiceover, or thoughts about?
I think something that gets overlooked is having a range, because I think if someone does the same exact voice for every single thing, it's kind of going to sound the same. So being able to do different ranges and different sounds, and kind of being brave in a way, because you're going to have to do some weird sounds sometimes in the microphones. I've had to do some weird cheery sounds, yawning sounds, a baby voice, mini shimmer. So for some episodes, yeah. So just kind of being able to do kind of everything at the same time. But I don't know. I feel like being different is great in voiceover.
Well, definitely having acting experience. A lot of you guys always are asking that, and you have to have acting training if you're going to do it long term. You may get lucky with one voice or one job, but to keep doing it. And of course, and you came from solid acting training. You've been, the age of 6 is what you were
Age
saying.
6.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you're almost 16, an adult. She's going to get married in Italy for her sweet 16. We were talking about that.
We were just talking about that. My mom says no.
So, do you have any questions for me? Is there anything that you want to know as you're making your way in?
Yeah, I was kind of because clearly, when I did Frozen, it's kind of the newer version of animation. So I was wondering if, compared to now, if there was anything different, the process was different at all, or with the ADR and the animation at all.
No, I think it's pretty much the same. Your mom and I were talking about the fact that what has changed significantly is so many celebrities doing a part of it. I feel so lucky to have gotten in when I did, because I think had I not done it prior to, what really changed it was Toy Story and Tom Hanks, being in the lead for that. That really changed the whole game in the mid-90s and the late 90s. But if you're not a kid, a tot, as an adult, it has gotten very, very difficult to break in. But the process, I think, is the same. Scratching, they've always done scratching. Again,
Animation's changed a lot, though.
well, yeah, now it's all CGI and
Yeah.
doing what Rick does, the old school hand drawing is.
I love Rick. Yeah, he's awesome. He's magical. I don't know how else to describe him. He's just magic.
Yep.
Had to do all the toys and all the stuff for Toy Story to do all the ancillary stuff too.
Exactly, yeah. So, of course, all Disney fans know wonderful Joan Cusack created that character for Toy Story 2 and does all the features. But ancillary products are, there's an ancillary product, pretty much anything that's not the actual animated feature. So toys, video games, Disney Live, Disney on Ice, Disney attractions.
Color, the rides. I know this young Elsa's voice is in one of the rides, and little short films, other things. Oh yeah, and then we did the World of Color. Yeah, all that jazz.
So yes, I do Jessie for pretty much anything that's not the actual animated feature. Whenever Lovely Joan is not. Yeah. Yes. And voice matching, of course, we talk about that sometimes, is a whole other skill set, because you're really having to make sure that you're delivering a great, hopefully a strong performance while completely mimicking and mirroring what somebody else created.
And what's your favorite part? Do you love doing video games? Favorite thing that you do?
Yes, but I'm weird.
You said you like the casting process too.
Well, that for live action.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying for live action. I love voice matching, which makes me very different, because most people would prefer to do their own thing and do crazy voices. And a lot of people get into animation saying, I just want to, play for a living. And I love the scientific breakdown of a voice and why it sounds the way it sounds and how it sounds the way it sounds. So,
How do you prepare for that?
study. Yeah, you watch the actor, you watch we call it their mask, their mouth, what their mouth does, like for Jessie the cowgirl, after we completely crazy face for the sound to come out the way that it comes. So, yeah, I love that part of it.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I want to try doing a voice match one day if I get the opportunity.
Yeah, we'll take you in my home studio and teach you how to do it.
Yes. I want to know the process, the ways.
It's a great skill set. And then you can even
Yeah.
apply it to other things. You can sort of be like somebody else for a new character. And
Making a new character, well, with this and that.
yeah. So, does anybody have any? We're good? Okay. So we're going to sign off now. But thanks for joining us.